Welcome to CIS 222 Quantitative Business Problem Solving. I'm Dr. Jim Markwitson. I'm going to be your instructor for this term. I'm happy to work with you. Email me if you have any questions about the course. I want to help you succeed because I think this course is very important, not only for your college career, but for your career in industry. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the key highlights of the course, how to get started, how this course works, the assignments that you're going to be submitting, those kinds of things. So I'll start here on EDUCAT. When you log into EDUCAT, you should see this course, CIS 222, with this CIS 222 JM50 section identifier on the end. This is the homepage of our course. Up at the top is the syllabus. I would encourage you to read through that carefully. It has all of the information about course policies, procedures, grading, those sorts of things. I'm going to open this up just so that we can take a look. You will be required to use Microsoft Office. You can use Office 2016. If you have Office 2019, that will also work as well. Excel 2013 will work pretty well. If you have Office 365, like I use Office 365 on the computer I'm currently using, that will also work. So basically any modern version of Office is going to work. You'll need access to the internet. That's how you're probably watching this video right now, so that should be okay. And one resource you'll need is the online access to myeducator.com. You can buy access one of two ways. You can either buy it from the publisher directly for $69.99, or you can buy it from the Northern Michigan University for $100. I think $100 is the bookstore's price. The bookstore just marks up everything about 30%. The access is exactly the same. So I would say if you have to use financial aid, or if you have to go through the Northern Michigan University bookstore, go buy it from them. Forget about that 30 bucks. If you're just paying with a credit card or paying, out of pocket, just go straight to the publisher. Your publisher, you will save yourself a couple of bucks. It doesn't really matter to me. So there's a link here that will take us to our specific course. So if you follow it, it'll say Prometheus Series, Microsoft Excel and Access. It'll have my last name, CS 222, summer 2019, 1. Just look for that. That's good. So you can check out. You'll have to create an account. So use your Northern Michigan University email address, please, and make sure to check that one. Create a password. Add your first and last name. The security question, that's in case you forget anything. When you go, so I already have an account, which is good. I've already signed up for this course, so I won't be able to show you this next step. But for your student ID, please put in your Northern Michigan University NMUIN. So it starts with a 00 something number. That would be helpful. When you get to the payment screen, if you're paying by credit card, you'll just be able to enter your credit card information right there. If you bought an access code from the Northern Michigan University bookstore, there will be a place to click a link to say that you have that access code. And then once you go through this process, you're good to go. You'll be registered for the course. This isn't optional. I'll show you what MyEducator looks like right now. We will be using MyEducator for the course content. So if I come to myeducator.com, once you've registered, this will be kind of a normal workflow. I'm going to start learning. Here I am in our section. There's a navigation bar up here. You can choose the courses that you're in. So I've taught a few previously, so I'm selecting the course that we have here. And in the contents, it's basically the chapters. So here we are at the title page. It just shows you the different lessons that we're going to go through. So this is an online textbook, but it's more than just a textbook. It has videos, but it's more than just videos. This is also how you're going to submit the majority of your homework assignments. So let's go, for example, into lesson 1. Let's just jump to lesson 1, Excel Basics. Here is the textbook. There are videos that will load. It's explaining how Microsoft Excel works, etc. Good information that you should read and be familiar with these terms. All this is good stuff. I'm just going to kind of scroll through it fairly quickly. You can see here we've got a video. We can play and watch this video.
So you'll notice that
I'm not going to make you watch a video inside a video. You can download the transcript if you want to, if that helps you pay attention or just remember things. So this is good information. So we're going to use this to learn. Lots of good information. So I'm going to click here in this left-hand navigation to go to lesson 1.2, cells and worksheets. Again, there's another video up here explaining very important content, which I'm going to skip right now. This is what you're going to do kind of on your own time, independently. This is like your course reading and everything. I'm going to scroll down until I find the practice problems. You are going to have 36 different practice problems in the course. So here we are. 1.2, practice problems, cells and worksheets. So this is basically your homework assignment. Again, it is practice though. So I'll show you why it's practice. I'm going to download the cells and sheets practice file. And I'm going to, I'm just going to stick this on my desktop for right now and open it up. So I'm going to say open when done. So this is going to bring up Microsoft Excel. So personally, I'm using Office 365 and it works just fine. You have to enable editing and you have to go past a second security warning. I have to enable content for these macros. If you're just using normal Excel, you won't have this assignment tab up here at the top of the ribbon. My Educator has special code that inserts this assignment tab for you. So instead of having a class where you just kind of take multiple choice tests or write essays, do that kind of thing, My Educator embeds these assignments in Microsoft Excel. So you're learning and using Microsoft Excel all the time. Same thing with Microsoft Access. There will be an assignment tab in Microsoft Access. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to show you some of these links. So the instruction sheet, tongue twister, it'll show you the different tasks at a high level that it wants us to carry out. I'm going to close that for right now. I'm going to pull up the task guide, which is a little bit different. It just kind of goes one by one. So we can complete these one step at a time. Notice there's two sets of arrows here, which can be a little bit confusing. The ones on the left, just don't click them, don't use them. They're used to resize this window. The default setting is usually good. The arrows on the right let you navigate between the tasks. So this will be automatically graded. I'm going to go through the first task. So it says, consider the student and grade information in the cells and sheets worksheet to complete the tasks. Worth 100 points. Sounds good. It says, identify the row number for student 1. Select the appropriate row number from the drop-down menu in cell O5. So I find cell O5. Student 1 is on row 5. So I'm going to click that drop-down list and select it. So I'm giving you the answers right now. You'll find out soon why that's not extremely helpful, but there we go. So I've done that. There's a checkbox there. You can check it if you want to or not. Checking it doesn't do anything. It's just a kind of a placeholder for you to show that you've finished it. So I'm going to go, it says identify the column number. Okay, so I basically follow the tasks that Microsoft Excel gives me through this My Educator assignment. And when I go through, I'm finished. I can submit my assignment. So here I'm going, let's say I've gone through everything. I'm going to submit this. Are you sure you want to submit? Yep, it's going to submit it for me. So because I'm an administrator, I have a few extra options. I'm going to show my score. It's going to pop this up. So task 1, I got 10 out of 10 on task 1 because I correctly identified the row, but I didn't finish anything else, so I got 0 points. So I didn't do it correctly. That's okay. You can submit these as many times as you want. Your highest score is going to count. So if you're working on something, some of these assignments are pretty quick. Some you can finish in 5-10 minutes. Some of them can take an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours for the more comprehensive exams. You can submit multiple times. That's just fine. So I'm going to close this. You can save this. I would encourage you to save all your work. Save it in a folder on your computer that you, like in your My Documents folder, just create a new folder for CIS 222. Keep all of these Excel files there. So this is a practice problem. I'm going to close Microsoft Excel. I'm not going to save these changes. One thing I do want to show you is that the practice problems, My Educator gives you the answer. This is practice. This is to help you along. So if you scroll down right after the practice problems, you'll see a video where it's basically going to walk you through the solution. Okay, so it's not cheating to watch this solution video and to follow along in Microsoft Excel and to do everything that they're doing. However, I would encourage you to try to finish all of the problems before looking for the answers in the video. It's just a much better learning experience for you. I promise you, making your brain think a little bit about what you're trying to solve rather than just looking for the answer is going to help you immensely when it comes to the tests and the exams. But we can see here, step 1, identify the row number for student 1, put it in row number in cell 05. The video can walk us, through that. But these practice problems, it's like open book, open note. It's like giving you all of the answers. Tells you how to do everything. So there's going to be many different practice problems. If we look here in lesson 1, Excel Basics, we've got a test your skills. So once you get to the end, the test your skills, it's like a summary of the whole lesson. You'll notice if I scroll down, there's no answers here. Like below the practice problems, we had answers. For the test your skills and for the exams, there's no answers here. It's testing you to see if you've actually learned what you were supposed to learn on the practice problems. So the content for this test your skills will be lessons 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and 1.4. I'll just show you real quick. I'll save this to my desktop again. The format is going to look just like the practice problems. So I'm going to enable content again, open up the task guide, and I'm going to get started. Okay, 100 points tells me what I should do. Okay, insert a new column between B and C. Give it a specific label. Okay, so I do that. I'm going to insert a column. I'm going to do what it asks. And then at the end, I'm going to submit it. Again, so with this test, it's open book, open note, but the only difference is that it's more comprehensive. So this should be your own work. You should be using Excel, doing all of this work. One thing I'll note about My Educator, while I encourage you to work with people, work with TAs, campus tutoring, if you have someone who knows Excel and you're stuck, you can have them help explain it to you. That's totally fine. What's against the rules as far as integrity, cheating, honor code type stuff is having someone fill out the worksheet for you or copying and pasting from someone else's worksheet. My Educator actually includes a lot of anti-cheating technology in it. If you copy something from somebody else's workbook, I will know the name of that person. I will know which cells you copied. I will know what time of day you copied and pasted them into your work. And then we're going to have some problems. So just don't do that. Just make sure all the work that you're doing is your own. Eventually, like we're going to get to lesson 5. Let me scroll down. I'm going to come to the test your skills. So lesson 5 has a test your skills, but there's also an exam. It's called a midterm, but it's just an exam. Again, it's going to be just like the test your skills, except it's going to cover the content for everything in lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, doing it inside Microsoft Excel. So that's My Educator. It's a really fantastic program. So I've taught Microsoft Excel to thousands of people at this point in my education career. The first time I taught Excel, we had people just submit multiple choice quizzes. This was at a big university. You could graduate, you could pass that Excel class without ever having actually used Microsoft Excel. I didn't think it was a fantastic learning experience. My Educator forces you to use Microsoft Excel and forces you to interact with the program to learn how to do it. I think that makes it a very powerful program. I'm going to go back to EduCat right now and wrong course. Apologize. I have to look in the past right now. Okay, so here we are, CIS 222. Let's look at the syllabus again. That's where we were. So you got to get My Educator. You're going to be submitting tons of work on My Educator. It's just not optional. So get signed up right away. There's my contact information. Contact me by email. My phone, I probably won't be in the office when you call. I'm just, going to be coming in and out. I'm going to do a lot of work from home and remotely. So there's a good chance I won't get a message if you call my phone. So email is the best method. If you have questions about any of the assignments, feel free to email me. That would be fantastic. I can answer a lot of the questions over email. Sometimes it takes some time for me to get that email and to respond. So if the assignment is due Friday night at 11:30 p.m., if you email me at 9 p.m. on Friday night, there's a good chance I'm not going to get that email in time to be able to help you. So if you start working on these problems Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you email me if you have an issue with something, I'm going to be in a much better position to help you resolve that issue. So please don't wait until the last minute. It's going to be better for both of us if we can resolve those concerns early on in the week. There may be times when something is just really difficult to troubleshoot. If something is just not working over email, we might have to use Google Hangouts or Zoom, something like that, and have like a little video conference, just the two of us, but we'll work that out as we go along. So this course is going to be completely online, completely asynchronous. That means there's no specific time ever in the course where you have to dial in, join a live video feed or anything like that. So you can work at your own pace with some due dates. You can work ahead as quickly as you want, but I do have due dates to make sure you're staying on task. We have different kinds of assignments in this course. Practice problems. Those are in My Educator. My Educator gives you the answer. There's the Test Your Skills, which are also in My Educator, that cover a single lesson. The answers are not given to you. And the exams are also in My Educator. Once again, the answers are not given to you, but you will get immediate feedback on which questions you got right or wrong, and you can submit those just as many times as you want. Work until you get the score that you're happy with. There's a couple other assignments for each lesson inside EduCat. I do have a concept quiz. This is multiple choice. I've found that some students using My Educator kind of guess and check, I guess you could say, or just try to brute force, try as many things as possible until My Educator says you got it right. I have these multiple choice quizzes. They're 10 questions each. They should take just a couple of minutes to get through. just to make sure that the concepts are making sense. Then there will be a semester Excel project and a semester Access project. With the Excel project and Access project, I'm going to go back, look at EDUCAT. Let's just take a look at these real quick. So let's take a look at this lesson 1 concept quiz. For example, here's some of the questions. Which of the following statements is true about workbooks and worksheets? A workbook can contain multiple worksheets. A worksheet can contain multiple workbooks, etc., etc. So fill that out. Again, this is open book, open note. Feel free to use Excel and Access to answer these questions. If you don't know the answer, open up Excel, try it out. That's totally fine. I just want you to understand these core concepts. Just don't share the questions or answers with your friends. That's forbidden. All right, so each week you're going to have some practice problems and a test your skills assignment due and a concept quiz. You're going to have 3 exams throughout the semester. I'm going to scroll way down, make you dizzy at the bottom of the page. Here we have the Excel project and the Access project. There's basically 2 components to each of these. I want you to come up with the real world problem that you can solve either using Access or Excel. Start an Excel spreadsheet from scratch that solves some business problem using some Excel features that you've learned in the course. Same thing with Microsoft Access. Then you'll submit 2 things. You'll submit your spreadsheet or Access database along with a write-up explaining your project. So the requirements are listed in the syllabus, and I've given you an example project of an example of the kind of complexity that I would expect. So I'm going to open up this goal tracker right now. So this is a project that I made. So I made this spreadsheet to track my New Year's resolutions, which in theory, I want to walk 10,000 steps a day, write 30 minutes a day, and eat 3 servings of vegetables per day. So those are my goals. I created these formulas to calculate averages. I created summary statistics down at the bottom, and then I created some charts with some more advanced features here on the right. I also did some conditional formatting here so that if I enter a value, I'm going to turn editing on. Microsoft Excel will automatically format these values based off of how well I did. So this is just the kind of complexity I expect from you for your independent project. Along with that file, there's going to be a write-up, and again, these files will be available to you. Here's a template that you can use. Download this, just replace the paragraphs with your own content. The purpose, how to use the spreadsheet, and what features that you used. The Access project is going to be very similar. It's just using Microsoft Access, the database program. So I'm going to jump back up to the syllabus. Looking at the assignments, that's what we're going to be doing. That's it. Thinking about how your grade's going to be calculated, the practice problems are 30% of your grade. There's 14 lessons, so there's going to be 14 test your skills assignments, 15% of your grade. You're going to have 3 exams, so they're weighted equally, even though the first Excel exam has 300 points. The second Excel exam has 250 points, I believe, but they'll be weighted equally. I'm not going to give you more points for finishing exam 1, for example. Each lesson will have a concept quiz in EDUCAT. Then you'll have your final Excel and Access projects. So that should add up to 100%. The course schedule, it's in 2 places. It's here in the syllabus. But I've also embedded that schedule inside these modules. You're going to have a few due every week just because the course is short, moves very quickly. So on May 31st, you're going to have a lot due. So the course starts 2 weeks before that. But you're going to have to finish lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and lesson 4 all by May 31st. Then on June 7th, you're going to have lesson 5 and lesson 6 due. Now you can work ahead as quickly as you possibly can. You could finish the entire course in a week if you wanted to. These due dates are just the last possible time you can complete these assignments for full credit. As far as late work is concerned, there's no extensions on the concept quizzes, the Excel project, or the Access project, the semester projects. With My Educator, if you do something late on My Educator, I'll take 30% off, but I won't accept any work after the last day of class. So don't plan to catch up at the end. Especially in the summer, these courses move so quickly that if you fall behind, it's really difficult to catch up. One other thing I want to point out here in EduCat is there is supplementary material. This is content that I've created for you to practice when I teach this class face-to-face. These are the examples that I go through typically. So for example, I'm going to bring up this O1 cells and sheets. I'm going to put this on my desktop just for now and open it up. Now all this material is optional. You don't have to submit any of this supplementary material, but it's good to practice. So for example, here are some instructions that you should go through one by one in order to manipulate this spreadsheet. I do have a solution here. So here I've called this worksheet a potential solution because there's lots of ways that you could choose to format a worksheet. I also do have a YouTube video that I've posted for this example. It's an example of me going through this content, and I just uploaded it fairly recently. So let's see how it looks. Okay, here. So I'm not going to play that for you today, but that should be linked. Now, not all of the supplementary material will have a YouTube video posted. If you find one that doesn't have it and you want me to, if you have questions about it or you want me to create a YouTube video, please let me know. I'd be happy to, create that content and upload it for you. Some of these lessons and examples I think are fairly straightforward and maybe don't require as much explanation. So I just have the solution there for a reference, but I'm happy to create additional video content if needed. So let's take a look now. So yeah, you don't have to turn in any of the supplementary material, but I think it is good to practice. The last thing I'll say, that's how to get started in the course. I've got kind of the week 1 getting started. Make sure to read the syllabus top to bottom. Watch the course introduction video, which you're doing right now. Register for the course on My Educator using this link. This link is the same one in the syllabus. They both take you to the right place. Start completing the readings and videos on My Educator. So you'll do all the practice problems and test your skills for lesson 1. Then complete the lesson 1 concept quiz here on EduCat. And then explore the supplementary problems and videos embedded in these Excel spreadsheets and Access databases further on down the course. That's about all there is to it, to the course. So it's fairly consistent week to week, what you'll be doing, same kind of assignments. It's a lot of work, but I think this is one of the most valuable classes that you will take because you're building skills that businesses want. In today's environment, people expect their employees to know how to use Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Access. It's an expectation. So when you walk into the job, you'll be thrown an Excel spreadsheet and you'll just be expected to know how to do it. It's the bar is just being raised. And if you can get good at Excel and Access, you can be very powerful. Increasingly, businesses are looking for ways to turn raw data into useful business information to perform business analytics, data analytics. Excel is the most used tool for business analytics today. So it's absolutely critical that you apply yourself to learn these skills and not just try to skate by. I promise you, you will use the skills that you learn in this course very frequently in your career. So I'm happy to help you succeed. If you have any questions or concerns or anything, please let me know. I want you to succeed. I want you to reach out to me, and I want to help you do the best that you can. So again, I'm Jim Markwardson. My email address is jimmarqua@nmu.edu. Send me an email, introduce yourself. If you have any questions about anything, I'd love to help you out. I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you enjoy the course, and I hope you learn a lot. Thanks.